The quaint hamlet of Harmony Valley basked in the glory of autumn's radiance, a picturesque slice of rural life seemingly frozen in time. But darkness lurked beneath the charming facades. For generations, a sinister curse had plagued the town's most renowned family, the Burntwoods, their musical genius inexorably intertwined with forces beyond human comprehension. Oliver Burntwood, the latest scion, lived a charmed life in the family's Baroque mansion. His intricately crafted symphonies celebrated from Carnegie Hall to the hallowed concert halls of Europe. However, success failed to satisfy the composer. During performances, Oliver glimpsed ominous shadows writhing in the orchestra pit and box seats, whispering ominous prophecies only he could hear. After a concert in Paris, a gifted cellist was found blinded and deranged in her dressing room, fingers bloodied and bow embedded in the paneling. Weeks later in Vienna, an esteemed violin soloist threw herself from the balcony mid-performance, convinced she was transforming into the very instrument she played. Upon returning home, Oliver descended into the mansion's deepest cellar. There, within cobwebbed archives, he discovered the awful truth. His ancestor Elias Burntwood had bargained with a demon called Rahven to receive extraordinary musical gifts. But the deal came at a terrible price. Their compositions would drive listeners insane, their souls forfeit to Rahven's malevolent hunger. Bravo, maestro. The shadows converged behind Oliver into a horned silhouette wreathed in smoke. The final movement approaches. Oliver confronted the demonic apparition. I renounce your cursed pact. My music shall bring only joy and redemption. Rahven's cruel laughter echoed through the cellar. Your fate was sealed by one far greater than you. Each note prolongs my feast. The shadow lunged, ectoplasmic claws raking the air as Oliver fled. He immersed himself in obscure texts, seeking to nullify the devilish bargain, but success eluded him. The melodies in his mind grew twisted and cacophonous. During a performance of his Fifth Symphony, a brass player was impaled by his own horn, triggering panic as 6 others were trampled to death in the stampede for the exits. The insidious curse had reached critical mass. Rahven appeared almost nightly, demanding Oliver's life in exchange for leaving Harmony Valley's inhabitants unharmed. One crisp autumn night, resolution crystallized. Oliver began feverishly composing his Magnum Opus with a special dedication to his dearest patron. The work complete, Oliver invited the London Royal Philharmonic Orchestra to debut the piece at the mansion on All Hallows' Eve. Rahven could not resist this offer. As the starless night deepened, carriages crested the manor's winding drive, disgorging the musicians. Oliver greeted them in the foyer beneath an iron chandelier sculpted with abominable creatures. Welcome, my friends, on this most auspicious occasion. Please, take your seats. The expansive ballroom had been transformed into a concert hall, complete with elevated stage and seating for the large audience of townsfolk. As the musicians tuned their instruments, Oliver strode to the conductor's podium and picked up his baton, turning to the expectant faces. Tonight, you shall be the first to experience my Magnum Opus, this paean to forces which transcend our mortal sphere. With a sweeping motion, the orchestra burst thunderously to life. The movements explored the breadth of emotion, from melancholic lamentations to passionate cries of anguish. Stormy crescendos swelled, the percussion and brass battling violently for dominance, until the final crashes decayed into ominous silence. The demon materialized then amidst sulphurous vapors, its fanged maw twisted into a mockery of a smile as it drifted onto the stage. A stunning performance, maestro, but now your tribute is due. Oliver stood resolutely, baton still raised. This will be my final composition. I release these good people from your cursed influence. Rahven's fiery as narrowed as it read his intent. You dare challenge our arrangement. Your reign of evil ends tonight. I'll return to address the confused audience. Cover your ears and avert your eyes, my friends. Do not listen. He raised his baton and plunged the orchestra into the hidden final movement. Discordant tones clashed violently as the musicians played on, tears of blood streaking their faces. Rahven screeched, rising in midair above the cacophony. Blinding arcs of energy encircled the convulsing, shredding its smoke crescents until only a heavy wail remained. As the music reached the apex of chaos, a shockwave of force exploded outward, shattering the mansion's windows and knocking the horrified audience from their seats. Then only stark silence remained. When at last they stirred, the dazed townsfolk found no bodies, only the ransacked auditorium now exposed to the cold night sky. The accursed Burntwood legacy had ended, though none who experienced that unspeakable performance would ever speak of the events again. Yet it's said that on some lonely nights, strains of otherworldly music still drift on the wind through the decaying remains of the mansion. The Symphony of Madness forever haunts Harmony Valley, lingering evidence of humanity's foolish temptation of dark powers beyond imagining.